Hello again. Hello everyone. So right now the skill dungeon is up. I wanted to show you that. I've already used this skill boost for 15 minutes. The plus 51 for one. That's one for 1 hour. All right, I was in part of a party. I know I need to reconnect my cable. I was getting very bad bit rates. I don't know why.
大間が払いをしてくださるのですね。
Oh, not this one.
何を払いに行かれますか？大間が払いをしてくださるのですね。
Sorry about that.
何を払いにそれではご主人様。
That's what I was doing.
お気をつ
You
け
can
てい
do
って
this
らっしゃい
5
ま
times
せ。
per day, each, normal and hard. I've already done 3 of those in hard, and I leveled up my skill by 1. It was at 47, now it's at 48, I think. Or it's 48 to 49. Yeah, it's 48 to 49. See? I'm about to level this up, so I wanted to do this on stream.
おつであります。
日々の研鑽が伺えるな。
These crystals don't actually damage you, they're just for you to whack on, and the dungeon itself gives a boost. It's this 200%. Also, I don't really like this music, so hold on. Let me real quick. There we go. There we go. Much better. Let me rename this one source. 1 second. It's too long. There we go. It was pushing the other things in my monitoring mixer out just due to its name. There we go. So that's what I've been doing. 3 waves. Dark, I forgot already. Dark, fire and ice. But they don't really do anything. The one in the center, that's a pause crystal. So stay a bit away from that one. The others even don't even move. See? Normally these would be freezing crystals. What? I used one and I got one? Okay. Sure thing. I didn't know I could get this from here. Huh. Cool. I got what I just used. I got back what I just used. Also, there really is no need to be in a party. I'm just in a filler party just for being in the sake of a filler party. For this dungeon, doesn't really matter. So on stream, I just got the skill boost plus 50 for 1 hour as a reward from this dungeon. But before all 3 times I did, I was getting the 1 million Rio chest as a clear reward. So I think that's the first time I've gotten that boost. Um, might be the second time because I already had one before I got one from a reward. I got that from somewhere. Maybe I got it from here and I didn't notice. Yahoo! Finally! Now what do I do? Let's level up Blue Fang Blade. 6. I would love to use level up the Sublime skill. However, that one skill will take out all of these crystals, even if I try to avoid them. So it's not really a good skill to use it here. I can use it on the last one. Also, I could clear the center ones and then leave the corner ones out for more than one use of log rumble or anything else. I was thinking about using Scream, leveling that up. hmm So instead of this, how about leveling this? Ah, ah. See that 1 million Rio chest. That's what I was getting. See, this is what I was getting. And now to evolve. I didn't even need to use the last run. I'll use it anyway to level up the evolved skill. At least a little bit. I mean, I'm using the boost already. And there is a fever boost up. Hmm. Now then. Let's do this.
なんだ。ほらさっさと決めろ。
Woohoo! Oh. Yay!
感謝しろよ。
Yes, yes, I am. Thank you very much.
なんだ。なんだよ。もう用がないなら行け。
Okay. Now then, let's see the
何
skill
か
effect
用か
after healing, repairing.
何か用か
Where can we go? Before this, I was farming the dungeon. I said I was Sakaki's laboratory. Then my energy reached max, so I wanted to use it. I
大
came
間が
back
払い
to
をしてくだ
say
さるのですね。
what's available, and this was
何
available.
を払いに、それではご主人様。
Oh,
お
that was the
気を
fifth
つけ
one,
て
not the
いらっ
fourth
しゃい
one.
ませ。
Oh well, let's do this then. Now then, let's see its effects.
派手に暴れようじゃないか。
First of all, okay. The attack combo is the same, it's not a continuous thing. The attack does not seem to have gained more range either. I guess it's just become more powerful.
ごめん。
It does not really have any other attributes to its attack now, does it? Four, three, two, one. After doing his 5 runs, I'll see.
オチであります。
Ara. How cute. The baby yokai also
オチ
leveled
で
up.
あります。
Let's see how much this can increase. Oh. So it has a differing targeting algorithm. Okay.
オチであります。
I think it persists. At least for one attack. Four, three, two, one, 4, 3, 9, 3. Okay. I know I should have been taking note of its power increase, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna extrapolate how much it can be powerful. As far as I'm concerned, it's already more powerful than 5. Skill level 5.
大間が払いをしてくださるのですね。何を、それではご主人様。お気をつけていってらっしゃいませ。
手こずっているようだな。力を貸そう。やるじゃないか。
オチであります。
Huh? Targeted the next one. Huh. Okay. For 417. See, only when you use it, it can level up. And not if it's already been used. So, the way it's taking out the others during its persistence, that's kind of a bad thing for leveling up. 441. Uh-huh. I see. Four, 6, 5. 24 increasing. Is it 24 constantly? Oh, so the times when I've seen people
大間が払いを
using
してくださ
massacre
るのですね。
and making a constant
こんな
flowing
ものを
wall
払いに行か
of
れます
wind,
か？
they probably use 2 of these skills at a time.
それではご主人様、お気を
Huh.
つけていってらっしゃいませ。
I see, I see.
分かった。協力しよう。
If I make a wind bow, I'll need to do this all over again. Because skills don't carry over to different weapon types. So the levels I've gained on this sword, it won't be carried over to a bow. Or any other weapon for that matter.
日々の研鑽が伺えるな。
4489. 24 entries. Okay. Does it increase after the increase? Oh no.
やるじゃないか。
Oh, I was pressing a caps lock. My bad. I was seeing why it wasn't targeting. Corner. It did not work. As I well hoped.
日々の研鑽が君もコスモリーグに参加してみないか。自らの苦を日々の研鑽が伺えるな。
Yeah, I'm not taking the risk.
日々の研鑽が伺えるな。
Apparently, ironically, the Sublime is better at targeting. 43. Right? 490, 4513. I think this was also 24. I forgot. 4513.
日々の研鑽が伺えるな。
安価で妖怪に凸とかどうかな。
Alright, the BGM. I forgot. I'll put on my own BGM in a bit after I go back inside. I'm fine with Onegashima's BGM, not of that dungeon BGM. I kind of despise that. Not despise, I just don't like it.
大間が払いをして
It's
くださ
hard
る
on
の
the
です
ear.
ね。
You know,
それではご主人様、
2
お
more
気を
left.
つけていってらっしゃいませ。
There we go. Now, turn it on. Mute.
インスタを
Turn this on. And mute this. See, first it hits 2 and then it hits the another 2. I don't know why it does it hit. Okay, it was 5, 1, 3, 3, 4. 24. It somehow gained plus 1. Either 25 or 23. Plus or minus 1. To make it an odd number. It was an even number, no? No, wait. 4441, that was always an odd number. My bad. 4537. Let's see what happens next. Five three seven 4561 345 24. It's a constant 24 increase. On the sides, it center aligns itself, apparently. Should be able to get 2 of them only. Oh, come on. It centered itself. So 4561. I should be nearing the next level. This should be my last run, right? Yep. Okay. Also, in this one, I just noticed that, see, Vanguard Gauge is full. Does it stay full? Can I do this for all my Vanguards? Yes, I can! The Vanguard Gauge just stays full. I don't even need to attack. Okay, what happened to you now? I think that's also a 24 increase. 4585. Okay. Uh-huh. 4585. I should be getting one more level. At least. Oh, come on. Oh. 4585. Hmm. Not taking the chance. does my camera movement affect this? So if I move away, I think that can work. 4585 to 24. It's still a 24 increase. No, it did not. That did not help. Oh, who also leveled up? Again. Wow. Just 58 experience points. Well then. Oh, got another skill boost. Cool. Awesome. Now I wanna compare the two skills. Now that it's not a level 0 skill, I think it's already stronger than the level 50 of the skill level, of the rank 5. It's called a rank, then the level. Rank 5 level 50. Let me confirm. Are all of these am I all out of price? Yes, I am. Yep. It's only for today. Or rather, only for Saturdays. Right. Comparing these skills. What am I at? I'm at 17. 4609. Sword. Ogi. It's. Yeah. It's sorted by name, not skill type. There. 4231 4609. It's already much more powerful. Tabu Yaksha. Okay. It's already much more powerful. The beginner skill. It's not even an Ogi. It's a normal skill. Yet it's translated as an Ogi here. And it's a rank 3. Oh wait. It says the ranks here. Rank 8. So sublimes are rank 8. That means maximum skill level is 80. Okay. 4609. Time to brag. Omega 6. Now I think I'll just I want to clear Kala. Well, I do have a couple of energy left. Yeah, let's do that. Training grounds. Let's do this. Oh, I forgot to exchange. Oops. I'll have to come out then. I forgot to change my accessories. Oops. So it does attack the next target over if they're close enough. I also forgot to switch my Magatama. Oh boy. What's it at anyway? 4609. Oh, why am I doing it like this anyway? Oh, so it just has to hit, not has to be on the first rotation. It just has to hit, even if they run into the attack. 4633. I think this was 24 up. I can clear hell mode. I mean, mobs I can clear, not the boss. Not the bosses. I've been fighting my party a lot, eh? First, I was doing fighting those androids of my party, and now I'm actually fighting my party, specifically Shizuka and Miraku. Shizuka on both counts. Hmm. Why don't they appear so that I can target them from afar? I have to be in the middle of them and get ambushed. Level up. Oh. Every wave has a boss here. Every third wave. As in, every block of enemies, every group of enemies have 3 waves. The last wave has a boss. Yeah. There. That's the boss for this one. The Ninetales. QB. They made Ninetales very weak here. Or maybe it's not a Ninetales. Well, I mean an actual Ninetales. That's the one. Need one more. There it is. The cannibals. The crab boy. Yay, it leveled up. 4657. I think this was also. Yeah, this was also 24 up. Uh-huh. This is not the last one. There's still one more group after this. The good thing about these Kijimona enemies are they don't attack unless you attack them. Even if you go in range, they just follow you. They wanna play. They wanna play. And they're not even rough. We are the ones who are evil. Attacking them. If anything. Oh no, you don't. This is the last group. I wonder where Hound Dog is left. These sublimes cost very little durability, so I can use them more than regular Ogi. That's the beauty of these skills, and they're also strong to boot. Cost low durability, and they are strong. I would still use them even if they costed more, but being low durability definitely helps in me using them even much more. Like you can tell with Everlasting Gale, this thing costs a lot. Let me see. 252. And the Scream 14 per hit. That Everlasting Gale is 252 flat. No matter how many times or how many enemies it hits. Even if it's once or if it hits 10 times. It costs 252 durability. Chances are you'll be hitting one enemy twice. At least that's my experience in my playstyle. Mm-hmm. This is the missed dialogue. Hehe, let's do our best. Please go easy on me. And Sublime, I believe, also costs. How much does it cost durability wise? 11 per hit, and the last is 28. I didn't need to save her, huh? Yay! Now I need to change my equipment. Alright, I forgot about that dungeon. So I'm not going for Gala. I'm going for Sugioka Hive. Saizo. I just want to use my energy up and go back to what I was doing earlier. So that requires fire, but not with him. Sorry, not with that. Oh, going to favorite any of these. I forget. Was I favoriting bow element or attack ups? Was I favoriting attack ups? Well, it's not even the best attack up there is. So size of the earrings, I have to wait 1 minute. It's 19 minutes. I have to do it at minute 20. It's minute 20. See, this is what I was talking about. Annoying, but I'll do it. If I have to, I'll do it. And I have to. Imatsuyama dungeon? No. So... Oh, I can't enter dungeons from there directly? Okay. Alright, let me hear the BGM real quick. It's the same BGM. As Onigashima. Fifteen. 15, huh? I don't wanna use 2 energy restores, but I'm here already. Hmm. Where'd you go? There we go. Yeah. It loads a little slowly on my end. Everything loads a little slowly on my end, and that's not due to my internet connection. As much as I would like to say it is. It's because I'm not using a PC. I don't have a GPU to speak of. It's a laptop. Okay, let's use these. Even if I don't do anything else, I at least want to do this 3 times. I don't plan on doing the daily every day, even though I should, because of a chance of the 10 Oni coins. But I think the 10 Oni coins are very rare. Even if they have an equal chance of appearing, there are quite a lot of other items. A lot of other useful items, no doubt. But still. Awesome. Oh. I think that was it. Now I think I'll just go back. Yeah, go back to the moon and farming normally. Hmm. How much do I have? 500. I can get something. Wait, no. I cannot get these Ogi, but my priority was this, right? Yep, I'm getting this. Now let's see. Cursex Sprint. I even forgot what this was. While fighting a Cursec boss, event boss. It shouldn't be down there. It should be up here, where the general cards. Okay, what was the skill card name again? It had a number to it, didn't it? Nope. Punishment cross 7. Okay. Also, time to get this as well. Punishment cross 7, eh? I should probably do the other event as well, just so I don't miss out on. So where's punishment cross 7? The very first one. It says 5, but time to confirm if it really is it. It's not, it's rank 7. Has strength to launch forward attack that punishes unforgivable. Not locked on target, nearby enemies will be targeted. It's an auto target. Oh, and a bonus plus on our back attack. We already get a bonus on our back attack, by the way. So that's a bonus on top of that. Okay. And still slot glue. But I think I can only glue one of these out of 3. I see. That would be useful for this guy. Here. So I'll have to decide which one I want to use up. 4153. It's much more powerful than anything I have. It's stronger than the Judgment Cross. The Ogi, a normal skill. Oh. Okay, where's the skill slot glue? How much do I need for it? There it is. 300. This would be my next. Or wait. 300, huh? That's a bit expensive. At least for me.
ゆっくりしていってくださいね。
How much would it cost to just buy it? It would be here, right? A new item. There it is. 48 to get 3 of them, or 20 OC for one, but that's a useless waste. 48 OC. I can do that. Why don't I do that? I'll have to find something to spend 2 OC on though. I don't like having. Well, it's not a round figure, right? No, this won't make it. No, this won't make it. Life sigil of luck and great fortune. I have the plus 31 though. Mm-hmm. Nine times 3 and then a discount. 6 times 3 is 18. Anyways. 3 times. Oh! It's better to get this 1 by 1 instead of just getting a 3. Wow. They messed up there. Okay. I'm looking for anything else with a 2 in it that I can afford. Better be able to afford it. Nine, 18, 27. This is a benefit. 14. This is a benefit. I mean, I can get one of these. This, I never use it. This, 100 boost. Hundred was the only thing I can think of that might be remotely helpful. Are the weapon scrolls still available? No, they are not. The weapon scroll was only a limited time thing. Well, at least I got a couple of them. What else can I get? I'm not getting Mighty Bind. These are all paid. If they weren't, I would have gotten all of them. And this is all I've already got. I can't even buy them unless I buy the OC ones. Base, extension, storage, this, unlock. I'm gonna buy this first. And that's from paid OC. Huh. See, the reason I'm spending this much time on this right now is I really want to use it. Right now. Okay, I can buy one of these. I mean, no. No. I don't have enough OC to buy more. Like, see? It has to be 22 or 12. I can't buy anymore. Alright, just use let's go buy 3 of these for that. Hell no. Too expensive. Expensive. No. Nope. Nope. So I just buy one Great Fortune? It's either this
今日も遅くまでお疲れ様でした。
or this. I don't have any 100 boosts. While I have 77 of these. Let's buy this. Drop boosts are always useful. Always. Even the low grade ones. I feel like I'm going to regret this. Oh well.
お買い上げありがとうございます。
There we go.
またのご来店お待ちしています。
Okay. Let's use it. I'm using this right now because I have a fire weapon. This one that I'm equipping. The Fallen Star is a fire weapon. That's the best I'm gonna get for a long while. Okay, I can use it. How many can I use it? I can use it only one. Obviously, I'm gonna save this. Which one do I not want to lose? Move up here. 18. So 1 3. Exorcist arrow is stronger. I think I checked that exorcist arrow also cost the least. How was it cost now? Yes, lightning and dark. Sorry, holy and dark. What does the weapon prefer? Does it have any tertiary or secondary attributes besides fire? Has rain minus 50, but no ben. Critical minus 50%. I still crit with it, but does not have any other affinities. Oh, slice. What's about slice? It has pierce up. Nope. Just a pierce up. Okay. So let's leave it to fate. On fallen star. Falling star, not fallen star. Fallen star is Lucifer. Falling star is Ifrit, or the other guy. I think that had a name and was introduced, but I forgot his name. But I really think that one is Ifrit because it has black fire, red fire. The boss, I mean. Da, 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 da. Okay. No. Can I really not use another? Oh. Well. Ah. Oh, that's how that works. Oops. That's better actually. I can guide the skill. Okay. I have to look for which one has blaze sanction. I have lots of blaze sanctions. 148 blaze sanctions. Nothing was lost. Never mind. This is important, but no. Which do I place? Which do I replace? I thought it would save this one. If I click this, it will save this one and then use the others. But no. The glue means it will go there specifically. This is very useful. Oh, come on. Dust is coming in through the windows. I can't decide between these two. Exorcist Arrow has a longer range. I always use Cursed Arrow. But that's the thing, I always use Cursed Arrow. This has 2 of my holy attacks now. No dark. Yeah, I think I'll switch Cursed Arrow. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Oh, long range. Awesome. Hello. Mm-hmm. They'll probably change their own notation of this at some point, but it is actually a rank 7. It's just, typographical error. I think I'll go off now from here now. Do I? No, not yet. Let's see how long these guys go for. I'll also put back my own BGM. Yeah. Yeah, the text on bottom, that only updates if it's playing. So if I stop what's playing, it does not update to it being stopped. It does not show a dash unless I specifically play something with a dash. I mean, modding. Let's open first. Easy to make. Easy to make. Anyone else? Anyone else doing anything else? Nope. Not. Obvious. Not easy to make. Note. Obvious. Not easy to make. No, I did skip Abyss, but let me see how much is my progress on getting an Abyss. I remember I was going for it at once, at one time. So there. Ah, there's my progress. I'm stuck at getting a fused. This is easy. Well, annoying to get, but okay. This would be Typhon, this would be... No, this is all the normal bosses. Gargoyle bosses. Also, I would need to make new ones of these, but they're easy enough. Attack star fused, eh? I got a fuse. How much do I need to get a fused anyway? So maybe I should change to fire set. Mark minute 20, minute 51. Yeah, I have to do it one at a time. I was looking for attack star fused. Oh, what do I have right now? I can just buy a normal attack star. I can't buy attack star fused. Oh, wait, I can. Huh. 2k, 1300. Huh, I have enough to just buy an attack star fuse. I'll run out, I'll use up all of my Oni medals. Ooh, I don't have a Tempest recipe, do I? No Tempest recipes. Where's the normal ones? Yeah. Okay. I'm missing a watermelon. I don't even have the recipe. Huh. Are these all of these then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 classes of weapons. Yeah, that's all of them of the normal ones. There are 8 classes of weapons, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. 8 classes. I'll have to farm for the recipes first, eh? That's where I was. I see. Oh, it's minute 3 already. 53 already. One. Also, esto. Minute 54. And to market, I unfavorite that. Oh, yep. Been for a while now. Been for a while now. I think I was too. I forget. What's the rate reward? Ah. Alright, the last maga. Yay, it stayed. Also, there's not a gala event zone. Um, Sugioka, right? Sugioka. Event Sugioka village. Changing. Let's see if stream info actually updates. How long is it range? Yikes! There's a long range. Well, at least I got another long range attack. Super long range attack. I love this. I love this skill. I love this skill already. Uh, after this boss, I'm gonna go off. I want to stream the whole thing. whole of my farming process. Just once is enough. This time I can actually do something. Oh, so it auto targets. Like I'm not even pressing tab. Awesome. Yahoo! My first hive hell clear. So I'm gonna be going off. Oh. Oh, this was a hell run. I was thinking it was a hard run and wondering why I was and not doing as much damage as I expected. So thanks for the stream. Enjoy. I'll have my last streams uploaded to YouTube soon enough. I haven't done it for the last couple of days. I forgot it. I just forgot honestly. So I'll do it soon enough. Goodbye. See you later.